Welcome back to another episode of Pangea Island. Here we see Amber watching over her eggs. It appears that they are just about ready to hatch. She's waiting for them to hatch, trying not to fall asleep because she has had a restless night these past 3 days. James is waiting as well. But just a few miles away, it is a young female Deinonychus. The scent of the eggs is what is drawing her here. Although they are covered with plants, she has an excellent sense of smell, which can help her sniff out things like eggs. She moves closer towards the nest. James goes out onto their territory to patrol. Leaving Amber to watch the eggs. The Deinonychus is getting closer to the nest. Amber has begun to get quite thirsty. So she heads towards the lake. The Deinonychus now has a chance, and she quickly goes for the nest. She quickly undigs the eggs that she's been smelling. And she chooses which one she will get. She picks up one and quickly, she picks up two, and she quickly runs out of the nest. The Deinonychus is desperate, so she eats the egg that she has in her mouth. However, what she doesn't realize is that James is charging right towards her. But just at the last minute, she notices him and she quickly runs away. He walks back to the nest. And he sees that 2 eggs are gone. He also notices that Amber is not here. He is frustrated at her. But luckily, he sees her marching back towards the nest. She sees the eggs that are missing. And she's angered at herself for leaving the nest. And so is James. But small sounds begin to come from the eggs. They're beginning to hatch. A baby Styracosaurus emerges from one of the eggs. the other one is hatching as well. These two are males. Amber has just brought them leaves to feed on. Both babies are feeding on the vegetation. James and Amber are happy. Although they lost 2 of their eggs, they are still happy that they have 2 offspring. But now they have another thing to worry about: their lives. Responsibility. Meanwhile, in the south, we see the Ute-raptors resting in the plains. Now you may be wondering, what happened with the Brachiosaurus? Well, Goliath stole their meal. Goliath is the apex predator here in the south. He is taken just about in any carnivore. He can take about any carnivore's carcass if he wants to. The Ute-raptors have been resting here, waiting until Goliath leaves this carcass, so that way they can come in and eat some as well. But Goliath is not leaving this carcass anytime soon. But we are not here for the Ute-raptor pack. We are here for Ruby. The search for a herd continues on. But she has stumbled upon something. These are Pachycephalosauruses. They are ready to battle for this territory. This younger male wins the battle. This older male ultimately must leave his territory. But just as he's leaving, he sees Ruby and decides to take his anger out by chasing her. Their chase is interrupted. Ruby is saved by a young male Tyrannosaurus Rex. Ruby quickly runs, happy that she has survived another day. Meanwhile, back in the north, we see a pterosaur flying through the sky. Is Rhamphorhynchus, a small pterosaur from the late Jurassic period. His destination is the northern scraplands. He has landed to feast on what seems to be the remains of a carnivore. But there's another scavenger. Carlophosaurus. Carlophosaurus approaches the carcass. Carlophosaurus is a rare killer on the island. They have just recently evolved. A few miles away, a young male Pangea is looking for food. The Carlophosaurus decides that he's going to hunt the Pangea. Although he has a carcass that he has just scavenged on, the meat is about to rot, and he does not like rotting meat. So he decides that he will get some fresh meat instead. The Pangea does not notice the Carlophosaurus behind him. He pounces. It is Axel, the male Allosaurus that we've been following for the last 2 episodes. Although the Carlophosaurus notices this makes him more heated, and he charges at Axel. Axel has thrown the Carlophosaurus to the ground. Since this Carlophosaurus has such fragile bones, he could easily have suffered a broken leg from that. But he doesn't, luckily. He knows better than to stick around, so he leaves. Next episode, the Styracosauruses must relocate their herd. There's a new predator in the north.